2. There he is.
Hello.
Sir. How are we?
Yeah, very well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad at all, buddy. Am I disturbing you? You got dinner time going on? You had your food for the night?
Nah, just cooked, mate. Just cooked, so all done, yeah.
Just cooked. What's on the menu tonight in the household?
Oh, we had a little salmon, chorizo, like cherry tomato, asparagus kind of dish going on. It was decent.
Is that a bit of you? You got a Mediterranean chef going on?
Decent feed, yeah.
Nice. Who else is in the house then? Can I ask who you live with and stuff? Or
Yeah, so I live with Alex Coles, just moved in. He's second row, a couple of years younger than me, and then my girlfriend's over at the moment from the Netherlands. So there's just 3 of us in the house at the moment.
Living the dream. Where's the place? Is it up in Northampton or?
Yeah, it is literally opposite the cricket ground. So I bought my first place in January, got the keys.
You bought the place? Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I've not really lived in it very much because obviously I was away at camp in Six Nations and then came back for a week and moved back in with 2 mates. So I had some company. So I literally been there for about 3 weeks.
Probably a good problem to have, though, I guess. If you get the England call-up, it's probably one of the best reasons you can have to not be in your current place. But yeah,
Exactly.
So congratulations on the new place. That's really exciting for you. What are you now, 24, 25 years old?
23, yeah.
23, wow. Mate, yeah, first homeowner at 23.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's been exciting and also stressful.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
I've got women coming in both ears telling me everything has to go with each other. So, well, this stuff got to do with this.
Are you saying you're not into interior design?
No, I am, but I'm terrible at making decisions, and I've just got a lot of voices coming my way.
I can imagine. What are we thinking? We finish on the inside of IKEA? Are we going slick brick, everything's away in cupboards, or are we old school, traditional British?
It's a little bit old school. It's a Victoria Terrace house, so it's a little bit old school interior anyway. But I'm trying to get a little modern touch in there. I'm at the moment waiting to have my garden redone, so that's kind of exciting. So if I can get that done, I've kind of got a few ideas, but just got to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nice. That's the next question I was going to ask you was how's the outdoor space? Are you managing to do some stuff at home, or are you boys back in now? Or
yeah, we're back in training. So we've been back in. I think we're in our 3rd week now. So yes, it's been nice. Like when I moved back to my mate's house, he's got like a little garage area, and we got some weights and stuff there. So managed to keep reasonably fit, and we went to the pitches and ran during the off time, so kept reasonably fit there. And now obviously back at my house, there's decent outside space. It's not looking brilliant at the moment, but we're back at the club, so we're in the after there, which is nice.
Nice. Back into the S&C room. How's your body feeling?
I'm feeling fresh. I think it's never felt better. I'm not playing the game about not playing the game.
yeah, fair point.
So, yeah, I've never felt better really. I mean, that's all going to change when we get back into team training and start smacking each other again. But yeah, it's nice, kind of feeling fresh. That's it. That's the positive that's come from it.
Yeah, I can imagine. Because if I'm wrong, please tell me. But I've done a tiny bit of research, hopefully enough. But what's your timeline? If you're 23 now, you've pretty much just been back to back in the deep end for the last 4 or 5 years, haven't you? Because you were fresh into Northampton Saints at 17, 18?
Yeah, literally straight from school. So I think I was 18. So yes, in my 5th year now, back to back. It's not getting any easier. I'll tell you that. It's more because you now know what's coming, especially in pre-season and stuff like that, which we're basically doing now. And you kind of know what's coming, so that kind of makes the dread even more.
Yeah, I can imagine. So when you've gone back in, what's the screening process been like then? Have you been, not necessarily medical, I'm not going to bore you with COVID banter, that stinks, but what, in terms of like physical screening, so you've gone in and you've got physio, S&C, and people sort of seeing how you're moving, then you go out to play, or is it get some fun down you first?
Yeah, pretty much. So we're actually in 5 groups of about 7 or 8 at the moment. So you kind of have a set time where you come in. You've got your own little section in the gym with a rack and some weights and stuff. So you walk in, you've got a little app you have to do, fill out. You get temperature tested, the little gun thing they put on your head. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, no comment. Move on.
So yeah, get the gym session done, and then we're just pretty much straight out to the field from there. So you have, I think it's about like a 2.5 hour window. Where you just get your gym session and run done, and then you're back off home again. So still got plenty of free time.
And you said it's groups of, what did you say, 6 or 7 at a time?
Yeah, like 7 or 8, I think. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got small like time allocations throughout the day, or do you have to then go?
Yeah, no, yeah, small time allocations.
So,
Yeah,
the staff must be there most of the day then, right? Or
yeah, pretty much, yeah. So
wow.
yeah, well, they're all. So we're technically on furlough still, because well, I don't know why. I don't know the reasons why we're allowed to be on furlough. But obviously the staff aren't allowed to be on furlough, so there's a select group of staff that are kind of back in. I actually think the S&C, they have certain groups, so they're not in all day. But some of the physio as well.
Nice. Okay. And what are you carrying at the moment? You said you're feeling quite fresh, but you were carrying injuries going into the break, or were you?
Not really. It was more like an overload injury on my groin. So there was nothing I could really do apart from like a bit of strength work and rest was the only thing that was gonna sort that out, to be honest. And so I guess as much as I didn't want this time to happen, it has kind of come at good times. I've been able to rest that and do some strength stuff. So that's feeling good again.
Good on you. Well, listen, look, we're sort of 8-9 minutes in. Hello to Alex Donbrandt, just joined in. We are Alex Furbank. Is that a brother or a sister?
Sister.
Nice. she nearby? Family home nearby, or?
It's not too far. We're between sort of Bedford and Cambridge way, so it's like 50 minutes from here.
Managing to keep the parents happy with a few home visits, or you?
A couple of home visits, yeah. Obviously keeping that distance. But they've been over a few walks and stuff like that, so that's been nice to see them again. I think they get fed up with each other probably at home, so nice to see a new face again.
Again, no comment. I'm just going to stay clear of that one. Yeah, so look, mate, I appreciate you giving us some time. We're about, like I say, we're 9-10 minutes in, so we're going to get stuck straight into it if you're all right with it.
Yeah, sweet.
To go through some formalities, if we may. So, officially and formally, thank you very much, George Furbank, for joining us on Old Emanuel is live. We have to thank our sponsors, if you don't mind, Magnus, Belushi's, External Concepts, Park Dean, and Adair. Thank you very much for sponsoring our club. And if you don't mind, we're going to get stuck straight into the Old Emanuel quickfire question round.
Let's go.
Everyone's gone through this. Alex Donbrandt himself as well. So if he's still tuned in, then he may be able to comment on this and give me some abuse off the back of it. Yeah, it's just a question down the acronym of Old Emanuel. Whatever comes to mind, just fire away. Okay. Oil or no oil?
Oil.
Left wing, right wing, or fullback?
Fullback.
Defensive or attacking?
Attacking.
Eclectic mix or pick an artist?
Eclectic mix.
Midlands or London?
Midlands.
Ant or deck?
Ant.
Netflix night or dinner party?
Dinner party.
Up and under or kick long?
Up and under.
England or France?
England.
Go to uni or academy contract?
Academy contract.
Love that. Nice. Short and sharp. Short and sharp. Yeah. So can we, if you don't mind, we may just slide back a couple of seconds back into the oil or no oil, Mr. Furbank.
I don't even know what that means, but what are we talking about? Are we talking about cooking, bathing yourself in oil? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, you went there. Let's move on. Yeah, no, look, just to start in the background, I'm sure people my age and people who are that nosy about rugby like me know enough about you. But for those maybe less experienced or less nosy than me, if you wouldn't mind, just summarise how it all began for you from club. Because something really interesting about you, obviously, is that you weren't at a predominantly sports-based school or rugby-playing school. So how did it all begin for you?
Yeah, so my dad played rugby for my local club called Huntingdon Rugby Club. So I was down there from a very young age, watching him and kind of getting involved in that mini stuff. So that's where I played most of my rugby, because, like you said, I wasn't playing at school. So yeah, most of all my rugby up to sort of the age of, I think, 13, 14 was played there. And then kind of had a few representative stuff like East Midlands, did Midlands, and then like the England 16 set up, and then moved to Bedford School at sixth form. So that's kind of where like I progressed even further, obviously with the Saints Junior Academy as well.
Nice. Okay, I'm only really going to delve a tad deeper because it's a story that lots of our families and our club can relate to. Lots of our children are are not at the stereotypical. I know that rugby has a sort of bit of a thing about it in that it's mostly private school kids and they get driven from academy to academy, and it's actually a really motivational thing that you are who you are now, but you weren't that guy, and you related like lots of girls and boys in our club on club to progress you. So what, if I may, what particular phrase or sentence or motivational attitude would you say that you had that our children could follow and take onto their training?
I just think be the best you can be. I don't think you need to worry about. Don't ever concern yourself at sort of 13, 14 about being selected for certain things, or worrying too much about what the future in the sports is gonna happen. Like I was turned down from a few things, like even like East Midlands early on, and local county stuff early on. But I love the game, so I was playing out of enjoyment. I was playing with my mates, so enjoy it and don't put too much pressure on yourself at an early age, because I think the more you enjoy it, the better you'll be on the pitch, and that's when things will start come falling anyway. So that'd be my bit.
Good bit of advice. Thank you very much. It's actually really consistent with of all people, Chris Ashton 2 weeks ago or so. Yeah, it's very consistent. So thank you very much. Whilst we are on that as well, you did say that your sort of formative years, like 12 to 16, 10 to 16, you're actually more of a cricketer. So can we expand on that a little bit more?
Yeah, so cricket was my main sport even from a really young age. So I think it was up until I was about 13, 14. I loved my cricket, and I was quite good at sort of that age. And so yeah, that was my ultimate sport. I loved it. So nice. The 2005 Ashes Test, at Edgbaston, that whole Ashes series, to be honest, was like a big memory of mine.
Wow.
And like people like Freddie Flintoff and stuff growing up were pretty big heroes. So I'm still massively into my cricket now, as you can probably tell from some social media things, a bit of a nose. But so yeah, I actually really miss playing. But as much as I can, sort of in the summer when we're on our break or in pre-season, if I get a chance, I'll go hit around.
Am I right in thinking that the England boys, there's actually quite a trend in the England camp of lads who used to play and don't mind turning one over still down a hallway in a hotel? Is that?
Yeah, there's quite a few. I think it might be just a few rugby lads in general, to be honest. We actually had one in Portugal. We actually got on a netball court and had a good little cricketing session on one of the days off. I think there were probably like 10 or 12 of us. I reckon my old housemate Alex Moon, he must have bowled about 20 overs in a row. He was fully steaming in like with a tennis ball, just bowling some heat. But yeah, there's a few boys who are really into their cricket there, which is nice.
Oh, nice. So I guess whilst you're in camp, it's quite a good downtime thing to do. You just kill some time, play a bit of French cricket, or just like you said, do Alex Moon, go to town on each other.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, nice. So someone's actually just jumped on that topic. So we're still bowling passive off spin. Who is that? Who is this chap? Do you know this bloke? Clearly, there's a backstory there somewhere.
He's a couple of years younger than me. He went to my school. Oh dear. He's big into cricket. If you follow him on Instagram, geez, you'll see him turn the ball. I don't know if he's chucking it actually. He doesn't film himself bowling, so he's probably chucking it rather than actually bowling. I don't know if he's actually any good at cricket.
He's now called you Sherwin. I'm going to stay clear of the personal banter. But yeah, nice. What is that on that last cricket note, if I may? There was a moment with Maratoji. Were you in the room for that one with the cricket analogy he said?
Oh god, the old eat the apple bowl.
Oh, what on earth happened there? What?
I was cracking up at that. I came out of nowhere as well. I was creasing.
Yeah, wasn't it an answer to a question or something? I saw a clip of something, and he actually thought it was a legitimate answer to a question. Were you in the room for that one?
Yeah, no, I think he was saying, "What do you think? What do you think of my bowling technique?" And then got up and did the demonstration.
I'm sure you went over and corrected it, or was it all just sort of brushed under the carpet?
No, I'm a left armer, so I can't create a right-handed bowler. That's out of my comfort zone. That is.
Oh, you're a lefty.
A lefty, yeah.
Oh wow! Never trust a left-handed bowler. Jesus.
I've got a bit of bizarre setup, to be honest. I play a lot of sports left-handed, and then apart from any racket sports, and then that becomes right-handed. Or like table tennis, badminton, all that kind of jazz. Play right-handed. So,
right. So ridiculously ambidextrous.
When it comes to sports, yeah, I wouldn't say I can't write and stuff right-handed.
Okay.
There's just some sports that, yeah, it's just weird. I don't know, I feel strong in my right hand.
No, nice. How's that when as you were growing up? If I may delve a little deeper into it, how was that growing up? And you had coaches looking at you saying, well, hold on a minute, are you left foot, right foot? Are you right hand, left hand? It probably set you in great stead.
Yeah, it was fun, to be honest. I think actually my earliest memory, I started batting when I first picked up a bat when I was probably really young. I picked up and started batting right-handed, and I wasn't very good. And so I think Dad was like, just switch it around and try this way. And the first ball I just whacked out the garden. So that's probably how I discovered I bat left-handed. But no, it was fine. Like, yeah, it was fine. No one kind of pushed me to try different things or anything like that. So it's nice being a bit different.
Nice. So, and again, you know, would you agree with the statement about teenagers and young people trying out having a multi-sports approach, and then if success comes in one, go that way, or would you probably maybe argue specialise earlier? Where are you with that argument?
No, that's actually one big piece of advice that I tend to give any youngsters like I look after is as many sports as possible. I think there's so much crossover between different sports that I think, especially at a young age, where you don't have to specialise and you can just go and try out as many sports you like. You'll find one you probably really enjoy, but keep doing other sports because there's so much crossover between them that it's only going to benefit you, really. So. Until you have to specialise, for example, like, I don't know, picking between rugby and football on a Sunday morning or something like that, then do as many sports as possible. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Again, great advice. That'll be a nice little moment to send on to the kids. Thank you. There was a moment, if you can take us back to very early on rugby days, if my research is correct. You said you started as a prop. Can we expand on that a little?
Yeah, I was a pretty chubby kid, to be honest. I'd love to show you. I'm sure. Actually, I think there's a photo if you scroll back on Instagram of me as a young lad, and I was a bit of a chubby kid. Right. So, I mean, that's what you do with. Well, actually, no, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? Don't show this one to the youngsters.
Yeah, exactly. No,
yeah.
Whoa, pull out.
I'm not going to say just throw chubby kids in the front row. That's not what I'm saying. But that was my natural. Selection of a coach where he first saw me, and that didn't last very long, to be honest.
Very nice. Ben Fitzgerald jumped on that as well. Explains the name Furbank if he used to play prop. Wow.
that wasn't from me playing prop. I think that was just. Oh, that was. I think it was Tom Curry who came up with that. Called me. Well, it was either Tom Curry or I don't know if you follow the guy called Lash Banter on Instagram.
Yes. Yeah.
I think either him. I think he said it first, and then Tom Curry kind of adopted it on England camp.
Yeah, that Lash Banter's quite a funny bloke, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's quite funny. Yeah.
Did you know him in particular, or do you know him at all outside of rugby? Or
no, it's literally just from the rugby circle. I think most rugby boys will follow him now and can. Yeah, I don't know what the word is, but anyway, he's very funny to listen to.
Good stuff, thank you. So after some background work, we have had some questions come in, not necessarily about rugby. We'll bounce back to that, but one's come in pretty short, pretty direct. Favourite TikTok routine with Alex Mitchell?
Oh, Christ. Yeah, that was enjoyable over lockdown, wasn't it? Something I do I regret it? Well, it kept us busy for a bit. There was one that I think, I don't know what the routine, I mean, I don't have names for the routines, but there was one that did take us, I reckon, about 3 hours to learn. And you can probably see on our faces when we're doing it as well, is there's a look of concentration because we were so fed up by the time we actually got it. So that was, was it my favourite? Probably not my favourite, but that was the most painful one to do.
Perfect. What's if I haven't seen it, I'm sure some others haven't on our feed now. So how would you encapsulate a description? How would you wrap up a summary of what on earth this routine either looked like and what some of us do?
I actually thought you were going to ask me to do it then. I was like, there's no chance.
Absolutely not, mate.
I can't remember. Tragic, probably.
Okay, so look tragic. What was the song? Do you know?
I can't even remember that, to be honest. Probably too many. Yeah, I'd have to go and look at it. I'm sure people will realise you can go on my TikTok if you want to go have a look at my TikTok.
A shameless plug. I like that. I know you. Okay.
We've run out of content now. We've got about 4 videos, and that was us.
Yeah, nice. So that was a bit of an off-rugby topic. Whilst we used to be on bromance, biggest bromance in the England camp when you got there.
Apart from obviously lads from my club, probably Tom Curry. Got on with him really well early off. He's a bit of an idiot, but no, he's a good lad to hang around with. Get fed up with him sometimes. You can only deal with him in small doses, but those small doses are good fun. So yeah.
Can I ask for an example of what the small doses of idiocy look like, or?
I can't think of anything in particular. He just says some stupid stuff, and he probably's got a bit of ADHD, to be honest. that's me diagnosing him.
Didn't know you're a professional
Yeah.
diagnoser of these things. There's someone just come in with which current Saints were in your age group throughout the academy, and do you play golf? If so, what's your handicap? Thank you very much, Louis Evans.
So Alex Mitchell and Alex Moon are both my age group. Obviously Mitch got signed in his first year, so he was at Sale before he came to Saints. He got signed in the same year that I came out of school, so we pretty much played together. And then obviously Alex Moon as well. We played together since I think we were like 15 in the Saints setup. Golf wise, yeah, I do play. I actually got really back into it. I didn't play for like probably a year and a half. And then got back into it as soon as we came out of lockdown, basically. I've not actually got a proper handicap. I'm not. Sorry, that's cool. So none of us are brilliant. I probably play off sort of, I don't know, like 24 generously.
24 generously. Okay, it's good to know. What's the general standard for the boys then in England camp or Northampton, or what is a? I mean, I know rugby players can't exactly specialise in it, but I know you get the old sort of the 32-year-old rugby players that actually play more golf than rugby. What's a good handicap?
Well, to be fair, a few years ago there were some really good golfers. I think Stephen Myler, when he was here, is a very good golfer. Jimmy Wilson was a pretty good golfer as well. Christian Day's quite a good golfer. All those boys are gone now, so I don't think any of the older will actually play golf anymore. There's a small group of us who play. Mitch is probably one of the best golfers, and he's off about 18, I think. Henry Taylor's a pretty good golfer, actually. I think. I mean, I don't know if I've never seen him play. And I think he told me he's off about 10 or 11, but that could just be him chatting absolute breeze. So.
Yeah, you can claim minutes on that 100%.
We've got an S&C actually. He plays in a few competitions. He plays on scratch, so he's a pretty handy golfer.
Wow. Okay, yeah, but I mean, pretty handy. Potentially a career in there, isn't there?
I'm not sure. I think he would have pursued that earlier if there was. But he plays in competitions and stuff like that. So.
Okay, thank you very much. One's just come in. I mean, I'll go off the script and the feed as we go through, but one's just come in. Abigail McFarlane, thank you. What are players thinking about potential reschedule of Six Nations? I probably might rephrase that and go for, have you seen the rumours around Japan, Fiji?
I've not seen any rumours, no. To be honest, the whole schedule thing is all out of all the players' control, so... I mean, there's no point in boring about it. It's going to be what it is. Like, we have no say, to be honest. So, I'm just excited to get games back going on the 15th of August again with the club, and then I guess we'll see what happens from there, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess there's that element of just controlling controllables and do what you can do.
Exactly.
Stay fit, stay healthy, and crack on.
Exactly.
Nice, good on you. Hope that semi answers your question. Go back to the script, if you don't mind. So, yeah, where we were about 5 minutes ago, you started at prop. Suggestively said that you then lost a bit of excess body fat and then slid. Kept the skills, though. You're a skillful prop.
Very
slid to
prop.
10, and then was it 10 at school or 10 at academy level as well? And then 15.
Yeah, so I played 10 most of my time at Huntingdon, and then played 10 to start off with at the academy stuff, and then I didn't actually move to 15 until I was the under 18s year. So my final year of the junior academy, I moved to 15, played the season at 15 there, and then I've stayed there ever since, really.
Any particular preference? Like, I mean, you jump back in at 10 in training, or have you put your hand up for sort of club level 10 at Premiership?
No, I'm happy stepping in at 10. I played a few games at 10 at the Saints already. just well, mainly because I've not started there really, but I'm happy to go there if Boyd doesn't want to put a 10 on the bet. He goes there.
Is someone trying to call you? Do you need to?
Yeah, no, I don't need to. I don't know what he'll be asking. He's playing Call of Duty, so I don't know why he's trying to call me.
Someone just asked about the, if you don't mind, slightly off topic on the moustache thing. It's actually a player at our club, really helpful, thanks Alex. He's asked you about the moustache. Is it like a Samson thing where you shave it off and you feel worse, or do you feel better with it?
No, well, to be honest, it started obviously November, so that started, and I was like, I'm probably just going to keep it for a little bit and see what I feel like, and then there's only real bit of good facial hair I grow, so unless I want to be clean shaven, I don't like being clean shaven, so I was like, the moustache has got to stay, otherwise I'm just going to have a rock a patchy beard.
I was just going to say, are you otherwise a little bit sort of fluff around there, and that's it?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. I get a good under the chin beard, that's about it.
And no one really wants that, to be honest. It's just that.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not looking to keep this bit, am I?
It's just a random throat patch. Yeah, lovely. Cheers. Yeah. Right. So, Alex, hope that answers your really old question. Thank you about moustache banter. Yeah. So, as we were talking about 10-15, would you ever consider jumping in at centre? I'm sure you've jumped in a few times, just at training and everything else. But I mean, I know you're not exactly a small bloke, but some of the size of some of the boys up there at centre is just incomprehensible. Jumped in at 12-13?
Yeah, I'll jump in there if I needed to jump in there. I'm happy doing that. I mean, like you said, there's some big boys there, but regardless, I'm going to have to tackle them at fullback most of the time anyway. So that doesn't make too much. I'll probably have to tackle them more at centre, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. So no, I'd be happy stepping in there if I was needed.
Nice. I think it was Fraser Doomwall calling. Was it? He just jumped on here. Said, "Sorry, George. I thought you were coming online."
Honestly, things. What's he like?
You just can't get the staff, can you?
No, exactly. I mean, he probably needs me for a win on card. So.
Oh, shots fired! Shots fired. What's he going to say back? Hope he jumps back on that. Yeah. Right. Thank you very much. Back to script, if we may. Now, rumour has it. There's a couple of questions that have come in about rumour has it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's clean. It's clean. Rumour has it you are an unlimited Cineworld member.
Yeah, there's no rumours there. There's all truth in that.
All right. Okay.
I'm proud. Yeah.
So you're a big cinema man.
Yeah.
Now, I'm coming from one cinema person to a cinema person. Can we talk some detail? Talk to me about the George Furbank routine of. I mean, it starts at home, right? What's the cinema outfit? The choice of snack. You know, it's a big process.
One thing I don't get is people who dress up to go to the cinema. Why are you putting on a pair of jeans? Why are you putting on a nice t-shirt? And do you know what I mean? Like, you go to the cinema, who watches the film in that? Like,
you're not comfy. Yeah, don't pretend you're comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, cinema are the best. Some cinemas are the best of the time, not exactly comfortable. So going in jeans and everything, what's the point? So no, I'm a full trackies man.
100% head to toe. Not obviously club tracks. You got your own.
Oh, no. Yeah, full. Well, just tracky shorts, t-shirt, socks, sliders. Job done. I mean, that's comfort to the max. That is.
And also, cinemas are reopening this Saturday, apparently.
Yeah, I know. Exciting.
You got your first screening?
No, I have not actually. I don't actually know what's coming out. I've not had a look yet. So I'll probably do that now. You've reminded me.
Maybe the question off the back of that would be, what is the most outrageous outfit you've worn in a cinema? To a cinema.
Outrageous. I honestly, I think I wear the same every single time I go. Like, okay. I've got about 3 pairs of tracky shorts or a pair of long trackies, and it's one of those, and it's always the Birkenstocks and a t-shirt and a hoodie if it's a bit chilly.
And it's just the worst when you got a chewer near you. What do you do if you got a chewer? Are you one of those tutters? Do you cough? Do you look? What's your?
Well, we do our best. So there's a little group of us who all got unlimited cards, and we'll do our best to firstly book seats away from most people, so you kind of have your own little space, so you don't have to worry about that. If a cinema's busy and there's a chewer, I mean, you can give it but I'm not sure it's gonna make too much of a difference. I'm not the person to turn around and go, "Could you shut up, please?" So I guess you just have to deal with it, and if it really annoys you that much, go back and watch the film again.
Yeah, fair play. Sounds quite passive. Good on you. Last one, really obviously important question. What's your go-to snack? Are you a nachos guy or you pick and mix? Take your own in, KFC in the pocket? What's the vibe?
No, I mean, I mix up, to be fair, between, I'm always sweet. So it's either popcorn or pick and mix. I'm never a nachos or hot dog guy. Always sweet.
That hot dog douchebag behind you, just like spilling
Month
sauce,
yeah, honestly.
stinking out the cinema. No,
Not a thing. Not a thing.
No, good on you.
Oh,
Good. All right.
That's a great shout.
Good to hear. There you are. Anybody in and around Northampton, Cineworld Saturday night. There you are. Try and catch you out. Right, so back to the rugby in May. Again, with a rumour has it type question. Rumour has it that you found about the England nod via WhatsApp.
Again, full truth in that. Yeah, I was actually I was out for dinner with my family, and just a little buzz went on my phone, and I had a look. Pretty rude at the table, but I thought I'd have a look, and happened to be you've been added to England Six Nations group chat. And so I was just like, oh, okay. And I didn't really want to bring it up at the table because I don't want to make it a big fuss. And so I didn't actually tell my parents until the next day after I left home.
And how did they react to that then?
Yeah, they were pretty excited. I mean, Dad loves rugby, and I think he's pretty proud. So he was absolutely buzzing, to be honest. And
right on cue, someone has just jumped on that. The Meadowbrook 5, not sure who you are, but hello, big shout out to you. He said, who was your hero when you were growing up? Because I was about to say, obviously your first international nod, you must have watched quite a few when you were younger. So yeah, he's done it for me. Who was your biggest hero when growing up?
I think, to be honest, most guys my age grew up, and the 2003 World Cup is probably my biggest memory as a youngster. So I mean, it's pretty standard. Donna Wilkinson he was probably someone I admired growing up, and I think a lot of kids, especially me, would kind of go out goal kicking and try to emulate him as much as possible.
What's the biggest piece of advice that he gave you? I'm guessing you met him, no?
Yeah. No, not met him. No, he comes in and does a bit of kicking with Fordy and Faz, but not actually a proper conversation with him yet.
Okay. Is it one of those? Do you reckon you still get flustered? Do you reckon you get a little bit of like?
100%, yeah. 100%. I'll probably go on nervous and start chatting out rugby.
Yeah, no, we actually were. This is a horrendous story, but we were on a rugby tour at my school, and one of the children. To be fair, at the time, he was 13, not particularly into rugby, but loved the tour, so came along, and we were very, very fortunate. A parent connection got us in contact with Donna Wilkinson, and he did an hour's Q&A type thing, and one of the children didn't know who it was. And it was a rugby tour. I know the same face, the same. And my colleague and I, we're 29, 30 at the time, we're standing there trying to cool down. It's so embarrassing.
It's like, who on earth's this guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was pretty red cheeked. Yeah. Good to know. Now, if you may, can you shed some light on? Obviously, you've gone from academy and then you went into pro, and am I right in remembering Northampton won the Premiership Rugby Cup?
Yeah, last season, yeah.
Yeah, so you may have spent a year or so, year and a half with them. I would say helping them out. It's a bit condescending, but the biggest difference, the direct question is, what is the difference? And you go from Premiership Rugby Cup into consistent Gallagher Premiership. What's the biggest difference there?
From Prem Cup to Gallagher Premiership, I don't think there's too much of a difference. Obviously, Prem Cup is kind of designed to give a few more youngsters and stuff an opportunity. So I guess you'd say come to Premiership, you're probably playing against a few better quality players. But to be honest, when it came to that final, we were almost at full strength. Sarries had a pretty good side out, so that was pretty much like a Premiership game anyway. So there's not too much of a difference when it comes to that. Obviously, when you kind of stepping up from school into your A League is a big step up, because you're playing proper men's rugby. Then I got to experience that at Cambridge and Nottingham as well. So that's the biggest step up when you come from schoolboy. Stepping into men's rugby is the biggest step up, and obviously the the step up from that level up to the Premiership again is another step up.
And that does relate to one of the other questions that has come in about same question really, but just one level up. What was it like from Gallagher to international?
Yeah, it was. It's ridiculous, to be honest. The intensity and everything, and obviously you're playing with guys who are like a lot of them the world class. And so yeah, the intensity there, the quality is ridiculous. And you kind of have everything else that goes with it as well. Like more people talking about you and all that kind of stuff. So there's so many different things to deal with.
Trader Dingwall's trying to get a nibble out of you here, I think. So maybe he has to jump on this next week and see what he's got in the locker. But he's jumped on it. Can Colsey drop in for tips on student-athlete living? Are we going to expand on that, or is that a bit X-rated?
No, there's a few of us who call themselves student athletes. Just do a bit of studying part-time. I mean, Colsey's next level. He's ridiculously clever, I think. Well, he claims he's ridiculously clever. He's one of those people who's book smart, but comes to the real world, and he'll struggle. He's not got the best common sense.
So who's the best contributor to a pub quiz?
Who's the best what? Sorry.
Who best contributes to a pub quiz?
I mean, he'd probably be up there. And then there's probably a few of us just on a level playing field. To be honest, we used to have a little Wednesday night pub quiz group. We were terrible because we went to a pub quiz where all the questions were from books in 1690, and I'm like,
no chance. History is no go.
We felt the music round got us back up when we got the old smartwatch shazamming things.
Class.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't finish on 1 out of 50, could we?
So sorry, to expand on that a little bit further, did you say that you are doing a little bit of background university, like open university type stuff? Or
yeah, open university now. So I literally, over lockdown, finished my 4th year, so 2 more years left now.
In something in particular to do with sport, or are you?
Yeah, in geography and environmental science. So yeah, something a bit different. It's something I just enjoyed at school, so I was like, I don't want to start studying something completely different where I've got to do it all online. So went with that one. I mean, it's enjoyable at times, but it's a bit boring and stressful at other times. But I've got through 4 years.
So how long do you get with open university stuff? You got a couple of years, or are you?
Well, mine's 6 years because it's part time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's basically just degree doubled because it's part time. So I've had an exam 1 year, which was horrible going back into that. But a lot of it's just sort of coursework, online modules and stuff like that. So I mean, it's not too bad. You've got plenty of time to kind of get through it. It's just about being diligent when you get back from training and going, okay, I'm going to sit in front of a laptop for an hour.
Tough, especially after a long day. You just really don't want it. But fair play. How something has actually come in about that, because we've had a real eclectic mix of players be kind enough to give us their time in the evenings. Alongside, we had young, old, female, male. We had 7s, 15s. Kick him out. Who's that?
Yeah, that's Colsey.
Is that the smart one? The smart one heard his name.
The smart one. It's also really funny, apparently.
Get back in the library, Colsey.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. What is your? Oh, we had Alex Dombrand was kind enough to give us his opinion, and he obviously is different background. He went to university, wanted to completed it, and then sort of stepped into the limelight. And so, was it a choice of yours to go academy, or was it just too much of a temptation? They came to you, wanted to sign you, and you just thought you couldn't miss out.
Yeah, pretty much. I had a place at Newcastle University, so there was an opportunity to go there, but I had a reasonably good season with the under-18s, and then they came to me and said, "Look, we want to sign you on your first professional contract." And so I don't think that was ever something that I would consider turning down. So and I'm glad I didn't now. And you can do it. To be honest, either route, I wouldn't say really matters. To be honest, if you're good enough and you want to go to university and get your degree, I'm sure you'll get picked up at an older age, like Alex has.
Nice. And what sort of businesses are the boys into at that Saints? I'm sure some of the older chaps might have the sideline stuff. And what's the club like supporting you with well, maybe not necessarily yours, but with their some of the guys who may be sort of 28, 30, 32, and their transition into focusing your mind on something outside of rugby at the same time as being the best you can at the club?
Yeah, I think they're class, to be honest. I think especially the last few years, we've had a new HR come in, and she's done a really good job in terms of pushing boys. It's not just guys who are sort of 28, 30 and are probably going to retire in 5, 6 years. It's right down to sort of 18-year-old academy, and just saying, look, rugby could last. I mean, you could be 18 and professional rugby last 2 years. So it's kind of it's about planning as much as you can, not necessarily thinking about what you want to do in the future, but just having something, either work experience, doing online courses, getting a degree, anything like that is always going to help when it comes to the time where you can no longer play rugby.
And what about, just to maybe go deeper into that one, where what does mental space or positive mental health and the club facilitating it, what does that look like at top end?
To be honest, we have people who, if you are struggling with mental health, you can go and speak to. I wouldn't say there's an active was an ongoing thing that you're always speaking about mental health, but I mean, firstly, it starts with being really close to boys at the club and having a good bond with them, and obviously that doesn't help all the time, but that's the first stepping stone. And I think if people do start to struggle with mental health, you have people you can speak to confidentially. And so that system's in place at the club, and I think most boys will trust each other to go and speak to if they're struggling with mental health anyway. So that's
nice. I don't mean to get too heavy into it, but it's just something that's obviously quite topical. And a couple of weeks back, there was a mental health week, and it's kind of, a great thing to push, and just interesting. There have been so many different methods and opinions on it in the last 10, 15, 20 years at pro level rugby, with the introduction of rugby, yoga into clubs, and the introduction of bordering on to meditation, mindfulness. And I remember at one stage, if I'm wrong, please tell me, but I remember, I think it was England Rugby League discussed ballet, the use of slowed down ballet and bar work. Yeah. Is there any of that type of thing, yoga, Pilates, mindfulness at Northampton Saints on a day-to-day level, barring COVID?
No, not on a day-to-day level, no. But again, we have sort of a little partnership with Hot Pod Yoga in Northampton, where we can go and do yoga sessions, and there are sessions run once or twice a week during the season and during pre-season and stuff, where they'll come in and you have the opportunity to do some yoga sessions. And breathing stuff and mindfulness stuff is probably more of an individual thing. Don't really get spoken to much about it as like a team thing. But it's actually something I spoke to the English psychologist about, because obviously kind of stepping into the England environment where there's way more pressure on you and there's more eyes on you, and I was struggling with my groin thing, and that was kind of getting on top of me. So I used, she just gave me sort of some breathing stuff and not necessarily meditation stuff, but just like relaxation stuff. That really helped.
Nice, good stuff. Thank you. Whilst we're on the England thing, Eddie Jones was famously quoted for describing you as a young and exciting player. You probably hate flattery, sorry, but yeah, you were described as a young and exciting player. Just to dive into that a little bit deeper, a question for our young people who are listening and following into this: what environment do you think a club can help create to harness excitement in their players?
I think just not putting too much pressure on players. To be honest, I think having the ability to make a mistake and not get absolutely bollocked for it is going to help it, especially sort of younger age groups. I mean, mistakes can be made the whole time. Even when you come watch our training session, mistakes are made the whole time. And as long as the thought process is right and decision making is right, then sort of skill based errors just don't get on top of people, basically. And I think that's something that, in particular, sort of Sam Vesty and Boydie have brought in, and they say just like play with confidence, and you can't play with confidence. You've got people getting on top of you the whole time for making mistakes. So as long as you're learning from mistakes and not making these mistakes over and over again, I think that brings out exciting players, because come game time you'll have learned from your mistakes and you'll be making the right decisions and playing with confidence.
Nice. So what does an excitement attitude look like on day-to-day level, and what does it look like at the top end? Is it sort of young and fun and loud and immature, or is it just have a go? What does it look like?
I think it's a bit having the ability to switch on and off, to be honest, is one main thing. Having the ability to go from that sort of young, being immature, being idiots in the changing room with each other and having fun there, to then going out on the pitch and as at the same time as being excited because you're having a good training session. Also bringing that serious side in where you've kind of got to build into a weekend, and ultimately to get the best out of you need to get the best out of yourself in those training sessions in order for you to go into the game on Saturday as a team feeling like you're never going to lose. So that ability to switch on and off is probably a big part of. I wouldn't say it's like the big part of the excitement, but you kind of get what I mean.
And was it the same at international level as well? You got the Six Nations nod, and it was all quite quick, and you arrived, and you were there, and you were loving it. And was it the same there in a sense that Eddie Jones and support staff they had the same culture as maybe not the same culture, but the same approach as you've just said to us, as a good environment to instill, whether it's under sixes or your men's first team, or it's Eddie Jones, the England lot. If you're saying that the culture is a no fear culture, it's okay to make mistakes. Is it the same in Six Nations prep, or is that more of a that wasn't good enough, slap on the wrist? What does that look like?
It's similar, but I guess there's more pressure and stuff when it comes to international games, and so you're getting picked in the England squad because you shouldn't really be making these sort of mistakes, and so it's probably a little bit less so like club, because obviously the pressure is massive, and you can't really afford to sort of make those mistakes. But again, it's still a fun environment, an environment where you want to go play with no fear, and you want to play exciting rugby, and your kind of rugby. So it's certainly not you go into the environment thinking, shit, if I make a mistake, like I'm going to be absolutely bollocks here. But there's just the whole thing. There's probably more pressure on you.
Do you think any of that came from, because naturally you spent a couple of years on the Senior 7 circuit as well, didn't you?
No, I'm not doing 7 stuff. Well, only at school.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a bit of a just brief interview. I think I remember watching.
Sorry.
Legs.
Yeah.
And you had a I think we're going back now. What we now 2020, maybe 3 years, 4 years. Yeah. Do you think the sevens thing, to try and tie those two topics together, would you say that young people, young girls, young guys, again in those formative years of sort of 14 to 20, 18, 16 upwards, do you think just dabbling in sevens, having a go, has allowed you to realise what confident looks like and what creative looks like, or do you think you as a person have always been lucky like that?
I wouldn't say the sevens. Sevens was just like a thing that I did because it was at the end of pre-season, just before the season started, and it was just a little weekend tournament. So no, it's not something that I would say. Well, obviously it's exciting to watch, and you have the ability to go and show what you're made of in way more space than you get in 15s. But I enjoy a lot of the stuff that 15s brings as well, where you don't necessarily have as much space, but you kind of got to manipulate people so you can get to that space.
Famous try against was it Leon?
Oh.
Line break, skin the fullback.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's probably one of my best tries I scored.
So you were that guy on Monday morning in our room going, lads, walking in like Conor McGregor.
No.
All right then. Yeah, no fooling me. Okay, guys. No, I'm conscious of the time. We've got about 8-9 minutes left. I was going to say about the biggest change. Someone came in about some of the England sort of international based comments to take it slightly away from the rugby. Who do you think? I don't know who this came from. I won't say their name. Who do you think looks better with a moustache, you or Slady?
Well, I mean, That's the original, isn't it?
This guy.
That's the original.
Yeah, how in touch with him on male grooming are we?
No, to be fair, he's a pretty good-looking bloke, isn't he? So I mean,
he's awfully good looking.
Yeah, he pulled off the moustache when he shouldn't. So that was frustrating, wasn't
it? Yeah, he's gone for it, and then he walks in. You're like,
for God's sake,
gutted. Yeah, just to go back to the England-France thing as well. I mean, naturally, having played against some French teams over in France, what's the culture like over there? What's the environment like as a player, going over there as an English player, English club, and how hostile it can be? What's it like?
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak from visiting there, and obviously playing there, and the atmosphere that they create. And I mean, I love it, to be honest. It's unbelievable. Firstly, experiencing it at Clermont, and then Lyon, obviously, which was, yeah, I mean, Clermont especially was just a crazy place to play. Like, it was when they kind of got on top, and you're really feeling it because the crowd are just going mad. And then in a couple of games actually we started to bring it back, and that was also unbelievable because the crowd literally went silent. You could actually hear the few hundred Saints fans that travelled. And so yeah, they're pretty crazy like that. It's pretty, if you're going well, they're behind you. If you're not going so well, you'll know that you're not going so well. But like I said, the whole atmosphere that they create is class. It feels almost like quite football-y. Not hooliganism, but like quite a football atmosphere, which is nice.
Am I right in thinking that's the stadium, the indoor one, basically, with the massive screen at the end? Is
that's Racing?
That's Racing.
I do want to know, that looks wicked.
That does look class, doesn't it? So, do you manage to experience the French culture after your games, or were you?
A couple of times we stayed. Once we stayed after one of the Clermont games, and had a good night out there. So that was. I mean, it was a late game, so we didn't actually get out till like 11. We had a flight at 10 the next morning, so there were some hungover boys on the flight.
Yeah, I can imagine. Everyone made it though.
Yeah.
No comment. No comment at all. Moving swiftly on. Nice. Someone has come in as well, just to relate it, whilst we've got about 4 or 5 minutes to go, just to relate it to the culture of tours as a young person. There are some parents, some coaches, some players tuned into this, and how much, to reflect back on your time as a teenager, how much emphasis do you think, I know times have changed in the last 10 years or so with boring things like health and safety and safeguarding, and it's all very good. I think it's a fantastic movement that the world is going in. You know, we don't want grey areas because grey areas create errors in the wrong parts of life, but maybe some people would argue we've gone too extreme. So if you can remember, reflecting back on your teenage tours, would you condone that type of thing, or would you say the game's gone professional in the last 20, 25 years and there isn't much time for that anymore?
No, I think tours are unbelievable. I think you create your best memories on tours. And so I think any opportunity where tours can run, obviously, like you said, there's a whole health and safety aspect that's there now and in place. But I do think you're away with your mates, hopefully, and doing things that you don't get to do in day-to-day life, and you get to hang out with them and you get to do activities with them. And no, I think tours you create your best memories. I mean, I've been on a couple of rugby tours with Huntingdon, not abroad, but just to different sort of areas, and got to do a couple of cricket tours as well. So it's not just rugby, but tours in general. I think just they create the best memories. I got my best cricketing memories, especially from doing tours, and so I think they're massively important.
So would you say that? I mean, you're obviously so far you're a one club man. So yeah, would you say that you're the biggest part of one of the enjoyment from rugby for you is the team thing, and that's one of the things that you miss now, or would you say that it's the competitive side of playing against other people?
I think, to be honest, it's a mix of both. I'm a very competitive person. I always have been. Don't really enjoy losing, and when it comes to any sort of sport. So I think obviously that you kind of get that side in rugby, and also I love the team sport. I don't think I could do a sport where it's individual, and I take my hat off to people who can, because I love the whole team thing. You get to do something you love with a bunch of mates. What better thing could you be doing? So I think that's massively important for me, and we're kind of lucky we have that sort of culture at Saints. We've got a good solid group of us at Saints who are all pretty close.
I was just about to ask, what does that look like? How does that present itself at top end? You know, day to day, COVID's not happened. You're at Saints and it's a Wednesday. What type of thing would you see or feel or listen to condone it? Because obviously we're a 1 day a week club on a Sunday, but maybe a better question actually is, how do you think parents and coaches can facilitate team bonding better in training sessions?
I'm not sure I can offer advice on that, because I've been very lucky in terms of there's now a group of us, especially at Saints, who I've grown up playing with from the age of 15, 16. So you kind of become mates there, and then you end up spending every day with each other, and so you become even closer. So that's for me, that's what's kind of brought us together, is just spending time together, and obviously you're getting on, and you got different personalities and stuff like that, but ultimately you all get on, and so that's creating an environment where team bonding is hard, is not something I've had to experience really, because it's just kind of come naturally, and I think if you're lucky, it does come naturally. But obviously there are things. I think tours is one of them, where you can create a massive team bonding thing, because you have that opportunity where you're going to go away for however long, a week or so, and you're going to spend every day with each other for a week, and there's a really good opportunity there to get a real good team bond, and so I think that's definitely one thing. That's definitely one thing that I would recommend.
Thank you. A window has just popped down at the top of the live there, and it says 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining. So we're probably going to have to wrap up there. Just a quick shout out. Someone just jumped on your tour, banter about Yorkshire Tour 2013. It's Marcus J. Kenmer, I think I'm saying that right, to the Furbank was the only bloke who wouldn't get in the bath, apparently. Talking of team bonding, let's not go any further than that. But thank you, Marcus.
Probably be really professional doing my recovery.
Yeah, probably doing ice baths and leggings, mate. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah. That's what we're chatting about.
Yeah. Oh, well, like I say, George, thanks very much for your time, buddy. Really appreciated.
No worries at all. Thank you very much for having me.
No, it's really good to speak to you. And if you want to slide a message over to anyone like Doomwall, Colsey, Lewis Ludlam commented at one stage as well. Maybe get one of those boys on.
Yeah, I'll have a word with them. I'll be on there for the whole hour, just getting stuck into it.
Yeah, you can tear into them. Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
Take care of yourself.
Cheers.